Okay, so we're up to healing pathway 16, which is removal of soul poverty consciousness traps. So what this is about is the system that's set up is to keep us in poverty, because we know that there's only a very few elite who have a lot of money. The rest of humanity struggles to get by or has just enough. But by having a money system, the way they've set it up keeps us disempowered and keeps us needing money to just survive. And there's traps and programs and curses put on us to keep us this way, to keep us enslaved to the system they've set up. Now, this all comes from, now if I'm looking here, the Egyptian money curses. The money we handle actually has Egyptian money, it has a curse on it. So this is why we need to cleanse ourselves of what money represents and how many hands it's transformed and what has been done for that, to get that money. Who has paid money for what? So it's often out of integrity and immoral, a lot of the money that's exchanged hands. And a lot of corporations that are out of integrity for, to take care of the planet, all for the sake of money. So there's a trap for us we're on this rat wheel where we're trying to get off, but you need money to heal yourself, or you need money to just feed yourself. You need money to raise children, have a roof over your head. We all need money, whereas there are other systems and other ways. In fact, there is free energy available that would give away the money system, because if we had access to free energy, we use that free energy to build, to cook, to power houses, for everything. It actually takes away the power, but that will not get out at this point until we start freeing ourselves and taking off these curses from money and getting ourselves out of this trap. It's very much not having a lot of money is a consciousness. And I've seen many people that fill out our forms online, and probably the number one thing that they say is, one of them is they lack money. Now, money definitely is a reflection of worthiness, self-worth, what you do, what you think your value is, and that really needs to be worked on. And people need to invest time in how to transform their belief about money, self-worth, so that it can come to them. There's plenty of money out there, and if everyone started changing this mindset, then we raise consciousness and we stop living in poverty. So therefore we're not struggling and we're not disempowered, and we don't bring up kids in that same cycle, because they will, whatever your childhood was, teaches you how life runs. So if your parents have told you that money doesn't grow on trees, life's a struggle, to work it needs to be difficult, all these kind of beliefs get embedded in you, so that that's the belief you take with you today. And then it creates the same outcomes. And those that do struggle with money, if I went back to their childhood, they would have had a lot of low self-worth, they weren't treated respectfully, equally, and their parents would have struggled with money, etc., etc. That's just the pattern. We just repeat patterns until we change them. So we'll be looking at, inherited debt systems. That's sort of like the whole world's in debt, and that weighs on us too. So we are carrying a debt ourselves. The whole Reserve Bank is part of this whole corrupted system of money. The bankers are the elite Illuminati and Cabal groups. And I've mentioned there's another word here, Luciferian, Belial sons and enslavement agendas. There's a lot of different, as you can see, it's actually quite complex. It's not just, the negative alien agenda. It's so that we just have to remove from our energy field. the webbing and the intricacy, the way this is all woven into our energy, the Earth's energy, the grid systems. It's complex, it's deliberately complex. So that it's like, how do I get out of, how do I find perhaps a needle in a haystack? How do I get out of this webbing that is all over me? How do I, go get out of here, and then you try and get out of here, and then it finds another pathway. Well, that's kind of how the system is set up. It's done in so many complex ways to make it difficult to get out of. You can do it. You can do it. This is our time to do it. We're getting out. It does take work. It does take perseverance. It takes perseverance of what are you saying to yourself? What do you say to yourself when you see something that you want and you don't have that money for? Do you say, oh, I can't afford that? Well, you're programming yourself. I want you to look at something that you like and go, that would feel great if I had that, and go into feeling great about having it, because then you have the energy of having it, and guess what? You end up getting it. Admiring people and watch how you view money. Really, really particular. If we start becoming conscious of what we're saying to ourselves and wake up, then we can change this mind chatter. And it's like being in the gym for a long period of time, but you know what? It's worth it, because then you're busting through those neural pathways that have programmed you to the negative. All right, so I think we shall get on with it. Now, the root chakra, because we have 7 main chakras. There's more than 7 chakras in our body, but we deal with the 7 main chakras. The root chakra, which is on a 45-degree angle, that deals with the more physical aspects of us, material finances, material possessions, all those things that are physical. So we'll be balancing that, and we shall be balancing, it looks like, the solar plexus, which is our power center, where we get our power. Now, money is just energy. It is energy. So if you think of it in that form, we have strong, powerful energy, we will attract money equally, in a good way. Now, I'm not talking about, there's a difference between attracting money in integrity and then there's out of integrity. If you're struggling for money, you need to undo all of the programming that has, caused you to feel that certain way, but not to manipulate people and not to have ulterior agendas. It's about doing it in integrity. And be okay with receiving money. In the 7-day live trainings, as you've experienced, we do a lot about getting you to ask for money and then receiving the money. And how do you receive it? We role play a lot of that exchanging, and be okay with saying, I deserve this and more. And I want you to think about that. You deserve it more than anybody. You are doing an important work that's, without this work that you're doing, people will struggle to ascend, they'll struggle to connect, they'll struggle to, be spiritual and find who they are and put themselves back together from all the abuse that's been done to them. And recognize that and go, well, that's worth a lot. And the other thing is, I want you to value forensic healing. I want you to value the gift that it has to offer. And don't devalue it by giving away for nothing. I'm not saying you can't demonstrate and so forth, but just be mindful that this system has an energy on it, and that's what I've always put first. I've always said it's the energy. So therefore, when you're in it and you're using it, you will get amazing, powerful results. And this is going to slam dunk everything, this soul module. Value that, and then by requiring, payment, feeling good about it. And that then puts energy for everyone else who's using the system. It just is, everything is a collective energy, right? Okay, so love and love yourself crazy. Why not? What's not to love? The removal of soul poverty consciousness trap pathway removes imprints, programming, and black magic causing spiritual bankruptcy. That's it, you can be spiritually bankrupt. That's another law of attraction. Global slavery systems, inherited ancestral poverty, slave class caste systems, black magic, grids, and poverty consciousness traps. Allows for the new abundant limitless and freedom reprogramming without financial restrictions and hardships in personal consciousness, DNA, and soul identity. Includes wealth, chakra, energy alignment. So we go to the soul scan list. I have a choice of 1 to 37. So 1 to 5, 6, 7, 10, 15, 16, 17. So we've got a different one. Number 17 for this. False Ascension Matrix. The False Ascension Matrix is an inorganic alien technology installed in the astral plane, 4th dimension, and controlled in the highest sound field dimensions, which is 5D timelines. It is a false white light sourced and corrupted from the lower soul matrix dimensional realms. So it says includes fear in human consciousness to suppress the ascension process, which forces reincarnation. So it diverts you, and it's probably things, and I could go on about this, but it's ways to think. It's maybe to think that, blessed are the poor in spirit, kind of poor, being poor in spirit. Being poor makes you more spiritual. Being poor, it's almost like when the scriptures, it says harder for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. And if you think about that, it's saying that, you can't be rich and go to heaven. And unconsciously we want to go to heaven and we want to appear good. Because also women lack more self-worth, we will try harder to appear worthy. So the false ascension matrix, we're going off on the wrong tangent. That's what's come up for you. Mm-hmm. Make any sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. All right, and age. So we're going 44 to 40 to 30, 20, 15, 14, 13, 12. So we'll go back to 12, and it's maybe around, how your parents related to money, what they would say to you. Would they struggle when they would go to work? Did they say you can't have certain things? What do you recall?
So Mum worked 2 jobs to support the family, pay the bills, make sure that my sister and I had our own assets in future. Dad gambled a little bit, so
your dad gambled?
He was not the financial provider in the family. Mum was.
So, all right. Well, yeah. That's like a... Do you find that you end up feeling like you got to provide for any guys that you come across?
Yeah, I probably have spoilt them more than they have spoilt me. The ones that I've settled with, yeah.
Because that's the consciousness that you've learned.
Yeah, definitely.
You've learned that, my job is to provide, if that's what your mum was doing. Your dad's gambling away the money.
To provide and be the homemaker and be the doer and,
right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah, to provide for myself and...
Yeah.
Not to take from a man, yeah.
Right, not to take, to give, not take, him not to have to do anything. And your mum definitely did that martyr thing. She's working 2 jobs. Your father's off gambling the money, and she's running the house and everything.
And raising 2 kids,
So, and where's the happiness? Where is happiness in that? There is none, is there?
No,
you don't even get to enjoy your children. She wouldn't even have time to sit down and go.
Nor your money,
And what did she say about money? Don't turn the lights off?
She still has that mentality, like turn the lights off, that poor mentality of don't buy a new top, don't do this, go and work hard.
Can't afford that, can't afford it.
That, stop spending, Vicky.
So that's programmed you in childhood. So what age did we say? That was 12, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like this. I've got the word. Okay. And that's kind of false ascension matrix. It's almost, it takes us on this false timeline. It takes us, we think that's the timeline, that's the direction, but it's all wrong. It's actually reversed. The exact opposite is what we need to be. Work less and nurture our energy field. it really takes us off track to thinking about what we're doing. That's what it's supposed to do, distract you and get you unable to have a moment to think. Accessing all levels of advanced consciousness, advanced dimensions, the guardians, enlightened beings. I, Marisa, request a removal and cancellation of the soul false ascension matrix to remove the poverty, consciousness traps, fraudulent money systems and controlled poverty matrix embedded in Vicky's soul matrix and DNA consciousness. And I need a shift. Confirm disconnection, association, influence, implants, belief systems, fear and control systems relating to debt-based currency and global slavery system, Egyptian money curses, anti-human black magic, inherited debt systems, power elite bankers, agenda and alpha draconius Orion group, black sun agenda and prison planet influences. There are other planets out there that actually they have a lower vibration, and it's like they're just walking around like robots. People have turned into these just almost inhuman robotic type of life. Slave class, caste systems, addictions to materialism. 3D mind control of materialism and spiritual bankruptcy. Deceptive propaganda and negative social engineering. Inherited ancestral poverty consciousness and Luciferian Belial's son's enslavement agenda. To replace and encode the subconscious mind, DNA and soul matrix with infinite worth, with the organic and natural connection to abundance, worthiness, freedom, happiness, service, cooperation, unlimitedness, expansion, connection, gratitude, love and oneness. Okay. So this is where we do the chakra wealth energy alignment. So we're going to balance the lower chakras. We're going to start with the solar plexus. So we can start the solar plexus around here so we get the height, and then we just send the energy. This is the power center. Balance that out. And then I get a shift to say that I'm done, and I'm done. And now I do the root chakra, which is a 45-degree angle. So I look for how far out, and it's there. So I send the energy. Now bring the arm back up, maintain, and I wait for it to drop. It'll tell me when it's done. And we're done. Okay, I, Vicky, am free of all anti-human poverty.
I became free of all anti-human poverty,
consciousness, false karma, black magic grids and poverty traps, relating to the age 12. I confirm my soul is 100% released.
I confirm my soul's 100% released
from the poverty matrix. So I can live with natural universal laws. With equal rights and sovereignty. I choose to live in 100% abundance.
I choose to live in 100% abundance.
And generosity consciousness. And live in oneness with humanity. From this point forward. So that's kind of like you're raising that childhood programming. Because there's no freedom with money, there's no positive mindset about money back there, and we've got to make it like that, or just wealth and abundance, or what we're deserving of. How did that go for you?
I understood. I just feel very calm with it, and a deeper understanding. And
removing the traps. And we think, they actually put subliminal programming on TV to say, buy this and buy that. It makes you think you have addictions, and you're thinking buying will solve your pain. And it won't. It doesn't solve your pain. Buying something isn't it. It's actually going inward. And it's kind of strange. I've always had this thing about, I used to be bored. My innate feelings, not saying I didn't shop, but it actually didn't satisfy me like it does some people. I've never had a fetish for shoes either.
I shopped a lot to mask the pain.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, see, I probably drank. Okay, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you.